Africa's freedom came at a cost. Flags replaced colonial banners, but shadows remained as independence swept across the continent like a tide of hope. A darker tide followed. Silent, sudden, and often bloody, the coup d'etat, the giant's wound. Nigeria, 1966. Nigeria, the sleeping giant of Africa, gained independence in 1960 with high hopes. But just 6 years later, the dream turned to nightmare. In January 1966, 5 army majors staged the first coup. Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa was kidnapped and murdered. Premier Ahmadu Bello executed. Chief Akintola shot in cold blood. The nation was stunned. Then came July 1966. A counter-coup, bloodier, vengeful. General Johnson Aguiyi Ironsi was seized and killed. Ethnic tensions exploded, birthing the Nigerian Civil War. Over 2 million, mostly children, would die from hunger and conflict. From that moment on, Nigeria's political destiny was held in the hands of soldiers. Gowon, Murtala, Obasanjo, Buhari, Babangida, Abacha, uniform after uniform, government by decree, democracy reduced to a whisper. The coups didn't just steal power, they robbed Nigeria of stability, trust and years of growth. The longest rule. Togo, 1967. In 1963, Togo made history as the first independent African nation to experience a coup. President Sylvanus Olympio was assassinated near the US Embassy gate by none other than his own army officers, many of them ex-French soldiers demanding unpaid pensions. But it was 1967 that changed Togo forever. Gnassingbé Eyadema seized power, a man of muscle, a master of myth. He ruled with an iron fist for 38 years, the longest in Africa's coup-born regimes. When he died in 2005, the military installed his son, Fayour Gnassingbé, bypassing the constitution, a family dynasty born not of democracy but of the gun. Continent in chains. Across Africa, the pattern repeated like a curse. Uganda, 1971. Idi Amin, the butcher of Kampala, charismatic, cruel, and catastrophic. Burkina Faso, 1987. Thomas Sankara, the people's soldier, betrayed by his best friend. Ethiopia, 1974. Haile Selassie, overthrown, smothered, and buried beneath a toilet by the Derg. Libya, 1969. Gaddafi, young, bold, and dangerous. His coup made him king for 42 years. From West Africa to the Horn, no corner was spared. By the 1990s, over 80 coups had shaken the continent. Who's really behind it? But the question remains, who benefits? The Cold War turned Africa into a playground for foreign interests. CIA-backed coups, Soviet-funded rebellions, French paratroopers removing presidents. Africa's sovereignty became a transaction. The soldiers wore African skin, but many took orders from Washington, Moscow, or Paris. Democracy deferred. Even in countries where elections returned, the military never fully stepped back. Nigeria saw elections in 1999, but the scars remain. Former coup plotters still roam the corridors of power, rebranded, but not reformed. In Togo, the Gnassingbé dynasty remains. The throne passed from father to son, like a kingdom without a crown. Coups may pause, but the mindset, the impunity lingers. The coup comes back. 2020s, narrator. Just when Africa seemed ready to break free from its past, the past returned. Mali, 2020, soldiers toppled the government. Then again in 2021. Guinea, 2021, Alpha Conde dragged from the palace after refusing to leave office. Burkina Faso, 2022, 2 coups in 1 year. Niger, 2023, a fragile democracy, gone in a flash. This new wave is different, draped in anti-Western sentiment, waving Russian flags, fed up with hollow democracies and corrupt elites. The people caught in between. Narrator. But whether the coup is from America's allies or Russia's pawns, the result is always the same. Curfews, shutdowns, torture, economic collapse, refugees. For the common man, whether under a general or a politician, life rarely improves. The ballot vs the bullet. And yet, hope lingers. In Ghana, civilian rule has held firm for decades. In Kenya, democracy grows roots. In South Africa, power changes hands by vote, not violence. Africa's youth are awakening. They no longer cheer for coups. They demand transparency, accountability. They march not with guns, but with phones, ballots, and voices. The real question now is, will the next generation of African leaders be soldiers of war, or warriors of peace? Because until Africa buries the gun in the ground of history, its dream will remain unfinished, and its freedom incomplete.